Welcome to episode 3 of High Above Courtside. My name is Jason. That's Steven. That's Anthony. Guys, what's going on?
What up?
Fellas, how we doing? Before we start, got to remind the people, smash that like button.
Hit it. Subscribe.
You gotta steal your significant other's phone and subscribe. Do whatever it takes. We got a first responder hosting the pod. I mean, we all love first responders. We can't disrespect first responders, right?
How many podcasts have heroes on there as their host, huh?
Yeah, we have a hero, and you now need to like and subscribe, or else you're gonna have bad karma. And all this, no less.
All right, we're gonna jump into the Bulls game. Steve, I know you want to talk about this game just right off the bat. What do you make of that defensive effort for that game?
Seemed to be an option during this game. We won it though, 138-129. That is some crazy high scoring. Cup record 3-1 overall. This pod's coming out a little later than we'd like to. We didn't make the pod, the cup, so that kind of stinks. But we've never lost a title and won a cup in the same time. So like, it's kind of good omen there, you know?
Yeah.
Although, does it actually stink? Because now we get to play Pistons and Wizards, which is just two easy net rating games that we now get to, juice up the net rating. So I'm kind of happy about it.
Thank you for the cream puffs. I'm just going to go quick because this game's so far back. Tam dominated that game, 35 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block on an efficient night shooting, 66.7%. That is just 50% from the 3.
Oh my God.
We gotta work on the free throws though. He's just giving up too many points over there. 70% from the line. That's all right. Kristaps had a very efficient night, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 63.6% from the field, 40% from 3. It's coming back, baby. It's coming back. And 71.4% from the line. That kind of sucks too. We need to get those in the 80s. D. White left with an injury in his sore foot, but he seems to be okay. But Prichard was the one who stole the show yet again. He continues to be a flamethrower. 29 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 62.5% shooting. That's crazy for his size. 63.6% from 3. Now that's not too crazy because he's just hitting everything at this moment. It's absolutely wonderful to see. And 100% from the charity stripe. Finally, someone wants to hit those freebies. He really went 19 points in the fourth, hitting 7 for 8 from the floor, 5 for 6 from deep, which is why those efficiency numbers are so high. He ripped the Bulls' hearts out with that logo 3. It was just, you could see the life drain from their face. That was in Chicago, so he pretty much hit it from the Navy Pier Ferris wheel, if you're familiar with Chicago. It was deep. So yeah, that was really kind of the show. Just Prichard dominating the fourth yet again.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a luxury to have this guy coming off the bench. It's the biggest story of the season for them so far. I mean, neither team played defense. The Bulls don't play defense any night, but it was a good game. It was a close game. I forget what it was going into the fourth. And then you have Prichard come in and go 7 for 8, 5 for 6 from 3 and score 19 points. Ridiculous. Nobody has guys like that in the league coming off the bench. There's a few. Malik Monk, maybe. It's just absurd. He also had 5 offensive rebounds, no turnovers.
Hell yeah.
For a 6'5", 5'11" guy, whatever. I mean, unbelievable. He's a dog.
We'll give him 6 foot.
Yeah, we'll give him 6 foot. I mean, what else can you say about Payton Prichard? Well, we'll touch on him more. He was great against the Cavs too. He was great against Miami.
Real quick, do you guys think he's underpaid for what he does?
I think it's almost the best contract in the NBA.
No.
What's he at, 4 years, 48, or is it?
I thought
it's in the 30s.
Is it?
Oh, it's 9 years.
50.
I think it's 4 for 36. I think it's 9
Yeah,
years.
Wow.
Brad Stevens is playing 4D chess out there with these contracts he's dealing out.
And I mean, about the contract, if Prichard keeps this up, he now makes, going forward, when the roster gets more expensive, he makes Drew more expendable. I mean, you have a guy on the bench who could step in and stay as a 6th man or start for you. So, I mean, you're going to have to make business decisions money-wise soon. And having Prichard at cheap money for another 3 years after this is just an absurd chess move from Brad.
I feel like Brad, D. White's been doing that celebration where he has the 3 in his pocket.
Yeah,
that's what Brad's doing every time Payton hits a 3. He's like, oh, look what I got.
All right, so we're gonna move to the Cavs game. Our only loss out of the 3 games that we had since the last pod. I mean, what does this loss mean in general? Is the sky falling? Do we need to be worried? Steve, what do you think?
Celtics fans need to chill. This is not the Celtics team from previous years. It's a different iteration of this team. They got a chip now. They got a swagger and aura for you people that love that. The sky's not falling. It's just one loss to a Cavs team that isn't even on our level. We're 16-4 at the time, right? And as I mentioned in previous episodes, that team won 80% of their games last year. Guess what? Still winning 80% of our games. They were in a tough spot. They were on the road. Cavs just lost 2 games in a row to the Hawks. For some reason, they play us well, the Cavs well. They get up for those ones. And the Cavs needed a win bad. And Mitchell just propelled them to a win, a Herculean effort in the fourth quarter to squeak out a win. But don't forget, we were down 2 of our top 3 guys, Jaylen Brown, Derek White. And those players have size and athleticism to make the game a lot harder for Mitchell. So though he goes off in the fourth, I think that could have been a little bit more tempered down if we had those 2 guys on D.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I respect the hell out of Donovan Mitchell. He was unbelievable in the fourth quarter. It was a measuring stick game for the Cavs. I mean, they probably lost those games to Atlanta before because they're just looking ahead to the big Sunday night Celtics showdown. So I don't think it's too much to get worked up over. They had their top 4. We didn't. We missing 2 of our top 3 players. And, in Cleveland, a lot to prove. So it's definitely nothing to overreact about. And it's a make-miss league. I mean, Mitchell went crazy in the fourth quarter, which he'll do. But in a playoff series, I don't know that he's going to do that 4 out of 7 games. And even if he does, with a fully healthy roster, you're probably not winning 4 or 7. So, again, good game. I think the Cavs are the second best team in the East, but nothing to get too worried about.
Yeah, I had the similar thought process. That's why it's so funny sometimes when we're on here and we don't talk about like the notes we have, and all of a sudden you just like steal all my things. But I kind of want to touch on Mitchell on the fourth because he did go like supernova. Mitchell went 6 for 6 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3, and 4 for 4 from the line for 20 points just in that fourth quarter. And that's the only way the Cavs are going to beat us. If Mitchell plays like a top 5 player, and even with that performance, like you mentioned, they just barely beat us. But he can go supernova for 1 game, but like you said, 4 times. Can he go off for 4 times in 2 weeks? I don't think so. I don't see that against.
And I don't think there was a playoff game. I think it was game 3 before he got hurt. I think he was 7 for 10 on pull-up threes in the first half.
Yeah, he was cooking out.
And the Celtics still win that game. It's like, we've seen this movie before. It's tough to do that 4 out of 7 times. So the other thing, if I can get into this now, is people chirping about Tatum for some reason, although he dominated against the Cavs. What's his stat line? I know you have it in front of you, Steve.
33 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block on 12 to 27 shooting, 44%, 4 for 9, 44% from 3, 5 for 5 the charity stripe. He hit them all, and only 2 turnovers in 37 minutes.
You're up 14 going into the fourth quarter. And a box score watcher will say, well, what happened? How do you blow a 14-point lead? Like, you're close. Tatum's supposed to close these games. So I went back and watched. Fourth quarter, Tatum didn't start the fourth quarter. He's checked back in with 7:15 left, right? 93-84. You're up 9. First play he gets in, drives up to the foul line, bounce pass to Drew Holiday. Mitchell makes a great play on a strip. Is that a bad Tatum play? No, that's a layup 9 out of 10 times. Mitchell makes a great play. That led right to a Sam Merrill 3 that was off some junk offensive rebound, bounced out deep, went right to Sam Merrill.
That Tatum swatted against the glass, came right back to him.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Tatum block right back out to Sam Merrill 3. Later on, Tatum takes a step back over Jared Allen, led to a Prichard offensive rebound. Hauser went straight out to Hauser, misses a wide open 3. Okay, so a good Tatum step back on the left wing that I don't know how anyone could not like that shot nowadays, especially when it's against the center. Leads to an offensive rebound and another elite 3-point shooter missing a wide open 3. In that, we had Payton Prichard missed a step back mid-range jumper. It was 93-87, about 5 minutes left. Tatum got switched on to Garland late, drew 2, hit Al in the left corner, wide open. Al misses a wide open corner 3. Sensing a theme here. Mitchell makes it. So right after that, Mitchell makes a tough step back. This is the start of Mitchell's run. It was under 5 minutes left. Mitchell started hitting all those shots. Don't forget, Tatum then comes and hits 2 tough mid-range jumper, which he never hits. He shoots those at 30%. Hits 2 of those to keep it at 97, 92. Mitchell hit another step back late. And then down the stretch, you had he Tatum misses a few layups late, which obviously, bad. No one, you want him to make his layups late. But if a few of those wide open threes go down, this is a win, and probably like a 7 or 8 point win, with 2 of your top guys down. It's a make-miss league at the end of the day. Yeah. So like the question on can Tatum lead when all his great guys aren't there? He did lead. I mean, he generated wide open looks down the stretch, and guys just missed them, and that happens. We see it all the time, and it's frustrating when fans still get worked up about Tatum, like, he's supposed to just pull this out at the end. But it's like, if you're getting double teamed and you're making the right read, and guys are missing shots, you live to fight another day. It is what it is. So
yeah. It's a little frustrating, and I've got some comments from our previous episodes because I am a Jason Tatum stan. I have a dog who is 7 years old now. His name is Tatum.
Big T.
Big T. So I just want to give you a little picture for those people that think Tatum's soft. He's doing all that in that Cavs game, all running the offense at point and defending centers on defensive end. He leads the Eastern Conference with minutes played at 764, which is 3rd in the NBA. If that's not the toughest all-around player in the league, please drop a comment in the comment section with this mythical player that you think that can do all the Tatum does night in and night out, because that man does not exist. Tatum doesn't miss games. And as the Doc Lord told us over the 20-year period in the Patriots dynasty, Bill Belichick always preached the best ability is availability. Tatum's always there day in, day out. One more thing. Through the Cavs game, Tatum, 11 games, he had 30 points or more out of the 20. It's pretty freaking good, right? He has the second most clutch points this year, second only to De'Aaron Fox. He's shooting a ridiculous 1.26 points per shot on catch and shoot jumpers. That's just banana land. And for you who aren't familiar with like these types of statistics, anything over 1 point is great. So 1.26 is preposterous. He was also named, this is breaking news for all you guys, Player of the Month in November, and graced the cover of Forbes, 30 under 30. I repeat, everybody, face of the league.
Face of the league.
We had that convo last. I was going to say we had that convo last week about Edwards or Tatum, and I just think with these 3 games, I mean, I feel like Tatum he's just I don't want to say like late years, but just like he's more of like a complete player in my eyes, at least.
It's an age thing Edwards. Though too. For all those old Celtics fans too, Larry Bird won Player of the Month 7 times. Tatum has won it 5 times. We're gonna have some difficult and, to be honest, a little tough conversations about if Tatum wins a couple more championships, where he is on the pantheon of.
All right, slow down. I'm a Tatum guy, but Jesus. One more thing about what was I about to say about Tatum? Oh, so people will complain about a fourth quarter where it doesn't go the Celtics' way. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he had 17 in the third quarter against the Cavs to open up a 14-point lead.
Correct.
So, like, is that not a good thing? Like, should your best, like, are we now discounting that the guy went for 17 in the third quarter, got you a 14-point lead, down 2 of your best players, and it's like, oh, why couldn't he close it? Like, okay, so you're not in the position. Would you rather him just not be there the whole game and us be down 17 going to the fourth? It's like, we were down 2 players, whatever, no big deal. Like, the fact that you're even in that game is because Jason Tatum's on the court, period. And also, just to mention, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander lost the game to Houston, I think, the next night late on the road in Houston. I don't know. Is anyone going around? Can Shea, his second best player's not there. Can Shea actually lead with Chet Holmgren? I don't know. Like, we got to ask the question. For some reason, it's only Tatum on these narratives sometimes. And it's got better since last year, obviously. But there's so many other guys who haven't won, who if you watch around the league every night, this team's blowing leads every single night. 7 days a week, it happens. And no one's going back and going, oh, Shea, they lost to Houston on the road. Like, damn, how did he not pull it out at the end? Close game. Like, it's a team game. There's 10 guys on the court. It's not, it's tough for one guy just to pull every game out.
I just got one more thing about it. Sorry, Jason, I don't mean to interrupt, but you just mentioned blown leads, right? So Boston Celtics blown leads this year, 3. Blown fourth quarter leads, 2. Blown 10-point leads, 2. Let's just say Cleveland Cavaliers, they've blown 3 leads as well. 1 in the fourth and 1 10-point lead. Oklahoma City, 4 blown leads, 1 in the fourth, 2 plus 10-point leads. Who's another team that we really like? The Warriors, they've blown 6 leads. They've blown 2 fourth quarter leads and 3 10-plus point leads. Denver Nuggets, 7 blown leads. 7, that's 4 more than us. 3 fourth quarter leads, that's 1 more than us. And then 1 10-point lead. I mean, it's not.
You might want to check your notes. Celtics fans on Twitter have told me that no other teams do this. So I don't know. I don't know where you're getting this information, but I don't think you're right. Okay.
Hey, the numbers don't lie. The stats are the stats. But everyone has their own opinion. I'm here to give it to you.
Anthony, just back to your Shea point. The reason why everybody gives Shea like a break is Sam Presti holds like 12 first-round picks, so they keep knocking that timeline like down the road. Right? Because they think that team, they're so young, like, oh, they got time. They don't need to win now. They just say, oh, if they make second round, third round, like it's good enough for them. So that's, that it's tough with it. Yeah. I mean, the picks are always going to be like, oh, don't worry. Like he has time, so it's crazy how like
Shea and Tatum are the same age.
They're the same age. Yeah. That's like, you're totally right, Jason. That's the exact reason. And he still gets this. Well, he's a young guy leading the team. He's the same age. He's like months younger. Like, what? He's not like at least Anthony Edwards. I'll give you like he's 22. I think what was he?
23.
We looked at this last week. 22, 23 years old. Like, yeah, he's not near his prime yet, and neither is Shea or Tatum. But they're not. Shea's not substantially younger than Jason Tatum. It's banana.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I guess we're gonna move to the Heat game now. Obviously. Celtics win. Wow. 108-89, kind of a blowout game. I do want to get to this thing first about the game. Just, I want your guys' opinions on the stay ready group of Peterson, Tillman, Walsh. They got a ton of run in this game. Just tell me about their play, what you liked, maybe what you want to see like more and just stuff like that.
Luke Cornett dominated Bam Adebayo. That's the narrative.
6 blocks.
6 blocks. I mean, Bam was awful. And you have to give credit to the guy that he's playing against. I don't know. Cornette was good. He was great. I mean, what else can you say? He's always ready. He always brings the energy. He's not a perfect player by any stretch of the imagination, but he's in the right place. He contests shots. He makes the right pass. And if you do that over and over and over and over, you're going to do good things. And guys are going to shoot bad against you when you're in the right spot and you're contesting. So, I mean, what else can you say about Luke? He's the man. Vibes man.
He is the vibes man. He's got the best sellies. He's the funniest man on the team. He just does it all. I kind of want to touch on Drew Peterson, just going back a little bit to the Heat game. Shout out to him. He didn't know, to the Cavs game. He didn't know he was going to be going in. Joe doesn't like to tell, specific guys when they're going to go in or not because it changes their approach, he feels. Yeah. So, just try to keep him crisp. So shout out to Drew Peterson. AKA,
he played 25 minutes 2 nights in a row.
2 nights in a row. But Drew Peterson of the Long Neck Clan, AKA Littlefoot. For all you people out there, that's a Land Before Time reference.
Jason's way too young for that movie.
I know he's too young, but we got some good. We got some followers here that are about it because he's got the longest neck I've ever seen.
You need to search Littlefoot, Land Before Time, Jason. All right? You'll know what we're talking about.
It's because Littlefoot's a brontosaurus, and Drew Peterson has a brontosaurus neck. He's about 6'8" listed, but his body's 6'5". It's crazy. But I digress. The guy came in, played his first real minutes in the game, 24-25. He was solid, knocked down 2 threes, hit 2 free throws, held up adequately on defense. He had that offensive foul on Mitchell. It wasn't perfect, but he's a G Leaguer. So, he's making his time when it's worth it. I mean, 26 points in the Heat game, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. You know, another time he hit 2 threes. Littlefoot, you know, he's looking good out there.
Yeah, he's stealing some of Jordan Walsh's minutes, which I don't love, but also I don't know. Jordan Walsh got to hit shots. Drew Peterson can stand in the corner and hit shots, and that's really all you need when you have a 12 guy coming in to play when guys are out. You need a guy who looks like he's not lost out there and if you leave him open, he'll knock one down. And he does that. He handles the ball better than Jordan Walsh.
Yep.
And he shoots better than Jordan Walsh.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the physical tools, but I mean, at this point in their career, it's looked better when Drew Peterson was out there. And I hate to say that. I'm a Jordan Walsh guy. I think he can be good, but it's almost 2025, and you have to be able to shoot corner threes in the NBA to be on the court, unless you're 7'2". There's no other way to do around it.
I think we kind of stole the Heat's devil magic in a way, because they used to find these undrafted guys, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, all these guys, you know, and this pop them in the game, and all of a sudden they're hitting 40% of their shots from 3. They're playing great on-ball defense. They could dribble, pass, shoot. I mean, I think Brad is cooking here. And I'm not saying Drew Peterson is going to be like a starting guy. I'm not going to say he's going to be, 8th or 7th guy on our rotation. But we have to find a certain archetype of player to develop them, because like we mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, it's going to be a hefty tax bill coming down the line next year, just next year. So we got to start finding ways to load the end of the bench with these lower price guys that can hold up and play complementary ball with our main core guys. So the more time Littlefoot, Drew Peterson gets this time in there, Jordan Walsh, and even like Springer.
Kada.
Well, Pritchard's already a part of that. Kada. You need to get those guys in live game reps. It's important.
Right.
So Jordan Walsh, I mean, he only played 13 minutes. Right, he didn't get a lot.
He started the second half too, and it was just like a quick hook on.
So like he got one shot up. Like when you guys watch him, you think he's being too hesitant? Like because is he? Is this year 3 for him? Right, since being drafted, year 4.
No, this is year 2.
Year 2.
Yeah,
I feel like he's been 20 years forever.
Old.
Yeah, he's young.
He's been here forever.
He still has, he's still so young. But yes, he is not aggressive enough. He has the tools and he has the athletic ability, but he just is hesitant. Which, like Drew Peterson lets it fly when he catches it. Yeah. He got into Donovan Mitchell, drew an offensive foul. Like he's aggressive. He's hitting the glass. It just looks a little different. I mean, same with Kada. He doesn't always know what he's doing, but he's doing everything hard and aggressive, which is all you can ask a 10th, 11th guy to do. Because, I mean, it's like we always say, it's November in the NBA, and it's tough to get up for every game. So opposing bigs don't always want to play against a Cato who's given 100% effort in the first quarter on a Tuesday night. It's like, damn, this guy's huge and he's trying really hard, and I don't want to deal with this. So, like, can you give us that, Jordan Walsh? Because if you can, you'll get on the court more. But it remains to be seen.
When you guys look at the Heat, obviously they've been one of our biggest rivals the past couple of years. They've beat us in the playoffs a couple of times. When you look at their team, obviously trade deadline can change anything in the matter of moves. But if that Heat team is the same team come playoff time, do you have any worry for them? No, yeah.
That rivalry's dead.
They deserve more crap. Pat Riley, whoever else is, Alonzo Mourning, is he still there as a GM?
Yeah.
They've had the same team for 5 years now.
Yeah.
And they've had these one fool's gold run. The bubble run was legit, great, fine. You beat 21-year-old Jason Tatum, like awesome, and you made a run as an 8 seed, which was awesome and good for the league. But it tricked them into thinking, Bam, Jimmy, we can build around this, and you lose guys around the margin like Max Strus,
Gabe Vincent,
Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, who stinks now on the Lakers, but still, you found these guys. You like the Heat should have already, and I know they tried to get Dame and it didn't work out, but like you didn't want to trade Tyler Hero for Dame. Tyler Hero, who's getting cooked by Payton Prichard now. It's I don't know where the Heat go from here, and I sleep so well at night knowing that. Fuck the Heat. Honestly. This is great.
So I think it's over, and their fans do too. And I was surfing Twitter, going through the timeline, and I saw this Heat account, and I just want to read it verbatim because they used to come down our throats all the time about how Tatum wasn't a good play, he got carried, and Jimmy's better, all this stuff. This is from Emo Jibby on Twitter. Celtics fans, the rivalry was good. Fun battles these last 5 years, but you won. We just simply don't have enough to win series versus y'all this year. Time for us Heat fans to move on to a new rival. With all that being said, Wizards fans, where you're at. Well, the Wizards are the worst team in the league for everyone who doesn't know that.
Yeah, that's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. The Heat, just their downfall is crazy. Their biggest move, I think, what they tried to do, because they got rid of Kyle Lowry and they got Rozier, and he just really hasn't fit in well. Yeah. Well, there they moved him to the bench. For God, who's that person that they had? Who started for them instead of him? Because he didn't start against the Celtics.
Duncan Robinson.
Was it Robinson? Yeah, they want more shooting, but it's just, I don't know. Like, it's almost, they're acting cheap, but I don't think they're like a cheap organization in terms of, signing guy. I mean, they haven't been known to being cheap, right? So it's like, it's kind of weird for them to keep running back this Bam Butler thing. And I know in the notes we have here, Butler he barely plays. Like, Butler is like going on Embiid status where like he just doesn't play back to backs. He's taking 9 nights off, and it's just like they're not the same Heat. You
can't lead a team to a high seed. Jimmy is at a point of his career where he needs to be the third guy on a team who doesn't need to play every night, and he can be and he can just be ready for the playoffs because he's a big time playoff player. Jimmy Butler is great, but you need a guy that's going to play 70 games to lead you, and I think Pat Riley thought Bam would be that guy, but Bam deserves more crap too. He has not. He's an unbelievable defensive player. I lose my mind every time the Celtics go at him on the defensive end, but he has not improved his game offensively at all. He's been in the league 7 years now, I think, 6 or 7 years. He was the same offensive player 4 years ago, and now you're going out on a game that, I think they're 9-10. They lost to the Raptors Sunday night, back-to-back in Boston. And you come out and get dominated by Luke Cornett. I think he was like 2 of 12 in the first half, or 2 of 10. Like, that just can't happen. If I was a Heat fan, I would be livid. That's insane. I mean, if Tatum got injured or something and Jalen was out here putting in performances like that, we'd be killing him. So, I mean, I don't know. Bam deserves to get crap.
We were at the game, Jason, for the Heat game, and like he said, Bam was getting he just looks skittish out there. I don't know what it is. Luke Cornett was just dominating them, and then once the game's out of reach, Tony goes to reach. Look at him. Look at Bam out there, looking like Magic Johnson. When the game's over, he starts getting. He got his points. He got his stats.
Right.
But it was ridiculous. Guy. But we do have to Go ahead, Tony.
It's not like with Bam. The thing for me is he always takes he's a mid-range jump shooter, and the people that don't like threes and the way the NBA is played now, where it's like dunks and threes, it's like he's an average mid-range shooter like everybody else in the league. And so if you're relying on hitting 15-foot jumpers and floaters night in, night out, you better be unbelievable at those, because you're gonna have nights where you go 2 for 9 for that, and then you're not shooting a three. The Heat don't have enough guys for you to get, be inside dominant. And he's not a post player, like an old school post guy who you can just throw it into. So it's like, this is just going to be the guy. This is going to be who he is for the rest of his career, which is still a really good player. But is Bam ever going to be like a perennial all-star? Probably not, because he's not a good enough offensive player.
Yeah.
So looking ahead to the next 3 games, they got the Pistons, I believe, tomorrow. They got the Bucks and the Grizzlies. For me, I'm going to go for me, I want them to beat the Bucks and the Grizzlies. If somehow they lose the Pistons, they got guys sitting, that doesn't really bother me too much. But against the Bucks and the Grizzlies, I'd like to see them get the job done. Grizzlies up and coming team, and the Bucks, obviously, Eastern Conference team. You want to see them do well. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, I have breaking news, which I'm happy about regarding the Pistons game tonight. Jason Tatum is out tonight. Thank God. This man's taking a night off.
Finally.
Finally, dude. Oh, my God.
What is it? Like a left knee? What is it?
Patella to that.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
It's take a break. We have a back-to-back Friday and Saturday, and it's the Pistons. And I think Tatum and Drew are out tonight. You still have plenty to beat the Pistons, and quite frankly, I don't care if you lose to the Pistons anyway. I know what this team is, but thank God Jason Tatum is resting finally.
Thank God.
Let me give you a little breakdown on the Pistons. Their top 3 scorers are shooting the 3 ball very well this year. Cade Cunningham is balling out under the radar per usual in the desolate Detroit. He's averaging 23.5 points, 7.1 rebounds, 8.8 assists. The sad part, those 4.7 turnovers. That's kind of gross. All while shooting 44.8% from the field, 38.1% from 3 on 4.4 attempts, and 77% from the line. So he's doing pretty good. The next 2 guys, Jaden Ivey, he hits a 38.2% clip from 3 on 4.5 attempts for 18 points a game. And Malik Beasley is shooting the ball better than both those guys at 39.1% from 3. And he doubled both those guys up at 8.8 3-point attempts. So you just got to stay home on those guys, make them come to the hole, or make them give the ball to Tobias Harris because he's a wallflower and does absolutely nothing out there. And you got to make sure you rebound and box out because Jalen Duren is averaging 9.4 rebounds per game. So just keep that guy off the glass. And also,
best rebounder is not playing now.
Yeah, and also the Pistons are horrible on back-to-backs. They're 1-4. They just lost last night to the Bucks, 128-107. So just play average ball and you win.
Pretty much.
So going to our predictions, me and you, Anthony, 3-0. Steve, 2-1. I forgot what game you said that you had them losing to the Bulls.
The Bulls, I think.
Yeah.
I said the Bulls. I didn't think they were going to take it serious, but Tatum took that. He took that game serious.
They didn't take it serious, but
we gotta worry about the Bucks a little bit. They're coming
playing well.
Up to this point. They're also in a soft schedule, but they are a 7-game winning streak. Giannis is playing at a high level now, averaging 32.7 points, 11.7 rebounds, 6.7 assists, and 1.4 blocks on 61.7% from the field. He does just shoot like layups and dunks. But you know what's real funny though? His free throw percentage is almost identical to his percentage he shoots on the floor.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Lillard also has strung together coming back from injury the last 7 games, 26, 6, and 9, averaging 36.2% from 3. They can get hot from 3, so we really got to guard that 3-point line. They're 3rd in 3-point field goal percentage right now. So close them out, funnel everything to the middle, except for Giannis. Keep that wall up and make him pass the ball. If you build that wall, he can't, come down like a freight train, and hopefully we could, outgun them.
Excited about the Grizzlies game. Marcus Smart, first game back. Tony will be in the building. I will try to take a video of the what's it called video they'll play for him. Obviously.
The montage.
The montage. So excited about the Grizzlies. Excited about both those games. Those are 2 good teams, so those should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a little
measuring stick games for both of those teams. So I think the Grizzlies and the Grizzlies will be on a back-to-back for the Grizzlies. They play Thursday, so they'll be ready to play and they'll have something to prove. So I think it'll be a fun weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the Grizzlies just got their 6-game winning streak snapped by the Mavs. They're 14-8, which is 4th in the West. The Grizzlies rank, and these are a couple rankings that makes this game even better. Even though it's a Marcus Smart game, there's not going to be a dry eye in the stadium. Everyone's going to be weeping watching that montage video. It's going to be a little rocky first quarter, but the Grizzlies rank 2nd in points per game at 121.4. We're 3rd. Cavs are 1st. They're efficient from 2-point land, ranking 3rd in the league. They also rank 1st in league in assists per game at 30.5 and 1st in blocks at 7 a game. They're also 3rd in rebounds per game. You got to come correct to this team or they're going to dismantle you. The Marcus Smart return, man, I'm so happy you're going to be there. And it's going to be a real teal jerker, to be honest. I predict, like I said, a slower start the first quarter, but I don't know. I think we come out with a W there. I'm saying we go 3-0. What do you guys say?
I'm on 3-0. 3-0.
So am I. So we're all 3-0 for this stretch. So we're gonna see what happens. I was writing it down. I was just making sure that we got our all our predictions right.
Did you guys see Payton Prichard has like what's it, like 15 more threes than Curry this year?
Yeah,
Something
you
like
see that on Instagram? Yeah. I
mean,
wrote that down here. I wrote that down there. I was gonna mention that, but that's crazy because Curry plays like 40 minutes a game, and Pritchard plays like maybe 25, depending on
That's
what goes
why
on.
I mean, next year, like he's a guy. I know it's a 20-game sample size, but that's a quarter of the season, and he hasn't let up yet. So, and even if he lets up a little, that's a guy who can play 35 minutes every night in the NBA. That's a guy who can start on probably half the league. So, I mean, that's the fix next year to get under the cap, and it's probably going to be Pritchard and playing a lot of minutes, and this might be the last year for Drew.
So I was just gonna ask this question because do you think Pritchard can handle being our starting point guard moving forward if Drew is our like cap casualty to lessen the tax? Because I struggle with that because like you'd be putting a lot of defensive effort on or liability on Pritchard in terms of guarding these taller point guards, whereas when he comes in off the bench, maybe he's facing, guys that are more like his size that are like backups off the bench, whereas I'm just like Curry or a Dame and I know he's good about guarding those players too, but it's like, do you think he'd get exposed more maybe if he had a higher usage in minutes replacing Drew?
I don't think any more than he is right now. Also, I think we would go double big in the starting lineup.
Start anyway. I mean, he would start some games. Obviously, it's the NBA. So,
mm-hmm. but also it doesn't matter because Tatum plays point. He has a usage of like 30%. So like he runs the show. Him and Derek in that inverted pick and roll at the top of the key.
You're saying how they play defense just wouldn't matter.
It would. I mean, Drew. Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
I mean, he battles, so like you're not going to replace Drew Holiday's defense.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter who you brought in here. So I mean, all you're asking is him to battle and make things difficult, which he does. So I mean,
it'll be an adjustment.
A little worse, sure, but like you're probably not closing every night with Payton Prichard, just because. But you're still going to have a guy who might average 20 points off the bench. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. I feel like Drew, especially in this past week, he's been getting a ton of slander on social media in terms of his play. And I know obviously he hasn't played that well. He's been out a couple of games, but I don't know. It's tough to kind of replace what he brings in terms of that vet leadership. Obviously last year he was big to us because he won with the Bucks before coming over here. So I don't know. It's going to be tough to replace him, but I guess, obviously, we got to get under the tax or get close to, a lesser bill somehow. So you got to take from an area of strength, I guess.
Right. Yeah, Drew does the same thing Tatum does. He coasts within games and then once the playoff, Tatum does play a lot like harder during the regular season, but once playoffs comes, Holiday ratchets it up. I mean, the last 5 games, he's only scored in double digits twice. So hopefully, whatever's going on with him, he just like maintains the body, maybe some less minutes now that Pritchard's playing so well.
Another night off tonight, so he will have not played since Sunday in time for Friday night's game. So I think that's how you have to manage Drew. And I'm not worried about Drew Hall. He's 35 and he's done this for 14 years, or more, I think.
Yeah.
Drew's going to be Drew. And he made big shots obviously last year, but I don't think he's the guy that you need his body right and him to be there defensively. Hope his shot's going to come around. He's a better shooter throughout his career than he's showing this year. So I'm not worried about Drew in the long term.
All right. So do you guys have any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
One thing for the bettors, Payton Prichard was plus 6,000 to win Sixth Man of the Year. Now he is leading candidate. Yeah, I think he's minus money right now, to be honest, which is pretty funny. There's a couple guys. I think Dyson. No, is Dyson Daniels a
Dyson
starter?
He starts. Yep.
Yeah.
So because he might get most improved player. What I was going to say is like Payton could potentially get most improved players. So keep that on the radar. Payton is doing it all.
Also, weird Pritchard stat. Celtics average 1.17 points per possession when Payton Prichard sets a screen, which is the second most among all guards in the NBA, which is just a wild stat. I mean, if you've watched the NBA forever, just guards screening for guards is like kind of weird to watch. And like the fact that it's so prevalent in the league nowadays and he's so good at it as like a really tiny guard is just, it's wild. And and it's great to have. I mean, he does similar things to what Derek does. He can screen for Tatum and get it back and knock down a 30-footer and provide spacing there. So it's a luxury.
All right, so that will do it for us in this episode. You guys can follow us on HA Courtside on X, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Smash the
Take
like.
care.
Peace.
Smash the like. Later.